the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Now what you na odwani kiremu e wo mrahye bedwamu a debate na ekoso. Both the minority side of Ghana's parliament and the majority side of Ghana's parliament now omo twe dawre efa the 2026 budget statement. Finance Minister Dr. Kessel Atoforsen ebekin kind of mrahye bedwam. Now the minority led by the Honorable Alexander Afenyomakin, now omo ponche several holes, several discrepancies in the 2026 budget statement. Now the majority led by the Honorable Ayariga and so counter those discrepancies and holes now minority identify. Now interestingly, Emra and at the entire debate surrounding the 2026 budget, a baby ye e wona hyebejo. Na nura nyoma ekopie mu na wanwa yi. Ekopie mu say 170 pages of the 2026 budget statement. A copy and paste from 2024 budget statement. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Ekufuado a presentee wo Ghana mrahye bedwa 170 pages copied verbatim na adia ema the Honorable Alexander Afenyomakin echi NDC ni almost 30 ministries bi wo budget nim some allocations made to those ministries wo budget nim a some ministries no aban yi ba ye almost scrap omo yi die film because His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Ghana for also to say he is operating with just 60 ministers. Into ministries ni bo awotwetwam. Ebi also our image. Interestingly, ministries ni bia ya scrap a enya juma in this current administration no. Those ministries have been captured in the 2026 budget with budgetary allocations. Very, very interesting. Now, ADNSM mama say Brofua, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Ekufuado Breso, ye rakeno foriata EUSU ye. Edit describe those ministries. Edit describe budget allocation for those ministries. The exact words, verbatim, word for word, comma for comma, and it's 2026. The other interesting revelations made by the Honorable Alexander Afenyomakin when he took his turn to punch several holes in the 2026 budget statement. Tianko, na yenkuti.
This budget is built on propaganda, sustained by abandonment, and destined to deepen the suffering of ordinary Ghanaians. Mr. Speaker, simply put, this is not a budget. It is a national retreat disguised as a national plan. But Mr. Speaker, this government must keep in mind that it keeps repeating that it inherited a collapsed, comatose, lifeless economy in January 2025. But the World Bank, not the minority, not the MPP, but the World Bank, in its official Ghana review overview updated on October 6, 2025, recalls the truth. Quote, stabilization has improved conditions with 2024 growth at 5.7%. Mr. Speaker, this must sink. 5.7% real GDP growth in 2024 before this government touched the wheel. Now compare that with their own projections. In their 2025 budget, they projected growth at 3.3%, a collapse of 2.4 percentage points. Even the World Bank's generous assessment reaches only 4.3% for 2025. And for 2026, this budget promises 4.8%. The arithmetic is brutal. The 2024 under Nana Addo's MPP, 5.7 growth, this has been certified by the World Bank. 2025 under NDC, 3.3% to 4.3% growth, according to their own figures. Then the 2026 under the same NDC, they project 4.8%. If 5.7% growth is comatose, what name should we give to 3.3%? Paralyzed, dead, or arrival? By their own numbers, the economy is now performing worse than the so-called collapse they claim they inherited. The truth is merciless. MPP handed over a stabilized recovering economy growing at 5.7%. The NDC slowed it at 3 to 4%. Mr. Speaker, when you slow down faster than the dead economy you inherited, you cannot claim to have inherited ruins. This grand deception is the foundation of everything that follows. Every abandoned program, every misprioritized allocation, and every constitutional violation. Once this lie is exposed, everything else begins to crumble. It's the reason why I reminded my colleagues that if you rise to eminence by merit, you live respected. Now your lies, your propaganda, stand exposed after you lie to the people. Mr. Speaker, let me turn to the human consequences of this deception. 6 Ghanaian women died in a stampede at Elwak Stadium. They were not there because they all dreamed of becoming soldiers. They were there because in an economy where jobs have vanished and opportunity has been strangled, any recruitment exercise looks a lifeboat. Those young women died because desperation met poor preparation in a context of mass joblessness. Mr. Speaker, their deaths are not random. They are a direct consequence of policy abandonment. They are human costs of government that has slowed economic growth and quietly killed the very programs that once absorbed labor and gave young people hope. If planting for food and jobs was still robust, if 1D1F was still expanding, if Agenda 111 was employing workers across the country, the probability of thousands of desperate young women piling up at the gate would have been far lower. Before we discuss billions and percentages, let us remember, their death must not be in vain. Their budget must be judged by whether it prevented another Elwak or guarantees more. On that test, Mr. Speaker, this budget fails catastrophically. Mr. Speaker, Elwak was not an isolated incident. It was a direct consequence of economic policy that has methodically dismantled every viable pathway to employment. Consider the evidence. 32% of youth aged 15 to 24% are unemployed. These statistics reflect a challenge we inherited when we assumed office in 2017. Yet we actively address these through structured programs. Planting for food and jobs, 1D1F, Agenda 111, and the Youth Start entrepreneurial funding and training. Whilst imperfect, these programs constituted a functioning employment architecture that delivered 5.7% economic growth. This government's response, systematic demolition. They eliminated the PFJ without replacement, 1D1F cancelled, they abandoned Agenda 111, and what do we see? Stagnation. Having dismantled the working solution, they now offer an uncosted fantasy of 800,000 new jobs and a betrayed manifesto promise. Where is the 1 million coders that has been reduced to 100 million without targets, alongside declining growth to 3.3%? Let me be blunt. Their priorities are in the least a scandal. They can find billions for new presidential jets, yet find a fraction of that for their jobs for the youth. What matters more, the comfort of a new presidential jet or the survival of millions on the ground? Mr. Speaker, this is not just hypocrisy. It is a declaration of war on the aspiration of our children. The young women at Elwak did not just die. They were sacrificed on the altar of political vanity and breathtaking incompetence. We will not stand for it. Ghana's youth deserve better than ghost programs and empty promises. They deserve the ladder of opportunity this government so cruelly destroyed. Mr. Speaker, let me now turn to the budget itself. This budget, Mr. Speaker, this budget is a cut and paste budget. When we say the successes of Nana Addo government is as a result of solid foundation laid by his administration, the NDC start to fight. But look at pages 74, 75 to 76, paragraphs 519 to 533. It is a complete cut and paste budget. They claim we have a ministry for works and housing with all the 60 ministers, with all the appointees in cabinet. They could not open their eyes to see that they were selling something to Parliament that they themselves have not defined as part of the ministries. Mr. Speaker, how can you, at paragraph 519, claim that there's a Ministry of Railway Development? How can you, at paragraph 528, say that Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources, and then at paragraph 523, again say Ministry of Works and Housing? Where was the Deputy Minister who could have paid attention to these details and dotted the I's? Where were the ministers? And this document has been brought to Parliament. In the list, this document might be withdrawn and a new budget brought before Parliament. Parliament will not accept this cut and paste budget, and all the things you have in there are things that you pulled from the previous budget and pasted them. Where is the Ministry for Railway and Development? Mr. Speaker, our friends have been exposed. A lazy attitude in preparation of a national document for Parliament. How could it have been a mistake? This is not a mistake. This is incompetence. This is clear that you did not prepare the budget with due diligence. Else you won't come and tell us Ministry for Works and Housing, Ministry for Railway Development, and write anything because you think you have the numbers to say here. We, the minority, the mighty minority, will scrutinize. And you can choose to use the courts and other means together with your numbers to get all of us out of this chamber. We will still protest and scrutinize you outside of this chamber. Mr. Speaker, at paragraph 33, page 5 of the budget, this is what they say. That, Mr. Speaker, the year 2025 has unfolded against a backdrop of deepening global uncertainty, heightened trade disputes, persistent geopolitical tensions, and uneven monetary tightening across major economies have hampered, damaged global confidence and investment flows. Mr. Speaker, these are the words of the Finance Minister. Since when, Mr. Speaker, did global economic uncertainties affect the economy of Ghana? When you were in opposition, you failed to accept that global economic challenges had effects on Ghana. Today, in presenting your national budget, you are blaming global uncertainties haven't affected you. Mr. Speaker, our friends have been exposed. Their hypocrisy now known to the people of Ghana, that this is not a group of principled political leaders, but a group of convenience political leaders. Each day in government, they change their positions. They change authority as and when it pleases them. Mr. Speaker, we will hold them to account. We will expose them. We will scrutinize every move of them. Even if they use subtle ways to reduce our numbers, even if we are left with one in this chamber, we would put the heat at their feet and make life uncomfortable for them. Mr. Speaker, today, if you read paragraph 902 all the way to 905, this government claims that GNPC will be drilling oil in 2026. Mr. Speaker, a critical question must be asked. Whether or not GNPC can undertake major exploration, especially drilling in the Volta Basin, with such drastically reduced funding. And then, Mr. Speaker, they claim that we as a country, we are going to generate our own power. This power that we are going to generate, have you first dealt with the inefficiencies in the system? Because, Mr. Speaker, currently there is excess capacity. The take or pay agreement we have, that is costing so much money. You haven't dealt with it, and you say you are going to set up a new system, a new thermal plant, using future savings to do that. Is it another scandal in waiting? Mr. Speaker, if the majority and its government do not avail themselves for the minority, as few as we are, with our might and intellect to scrutinize you, you may go down in history as the most corrupt government in the history of Ghana. Avail yourselves and let us scrutinize you. Mr. Speaker, look at ECOWAS, the ECOWAS sub-regional growth. Mr. Speaker, table 4, page 8 of the budget. Clearly, table 4 explains why the mighty minority says that this budget is growthless, jobless, and hopeless. Mr. Speaker, perhaps
Honorable Minority Leader, please proceed. The respective backs should take notes because I can hear noise from both sides. So we should all remain silent and listen to the debate. Please continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Ghanaian story, when compared to our peers in ECOWAS, is nothing good to write home about. From their own table 4 at page 8, it is clear all other countries in the sub-region did so well in terms of their growth. Mr. Speaker, if you walk through this list one by one, their incompetence is exposed. We are asking them, where are the jobs? Ejumanu wahe? Where is the 24-hour economy? It is clear that 24-hour economy no atonsio. Mr. Speaker, let's go to the industrial sector. Reference Appendix 1C, page 15. The NPP administration left a burgeoning industry sector that grew at 7.1%. Mr. Speaker, growth in that sector has declined to a paltry 3.6% in 2025. This decline is due to the lack of activity in the construction subsector. Numbers don't lie. Whereas construction subsector grew at 9.6% in 2024, growth in the sector has declined to 2.9% in 2025. Now you see why we have been clamoring for you to pay contractors. Even your own ministers, 2025, did not have their releases. Non-payment of arrears owed contractors means they have to move away from sites. Most road projects initiated have been abandoned. Agenda 111 have been abandoned. Contract construction is the bedrock first big push agenda, and whilst projects started by the previous government stalled. Pay contractors. Continue road projects started. Complete the Kaswa-Winneba Road. Finish the Adenta-Dodua Road, finish the Tamapampram stretch, complete the Swami interchange, and finish the PTC interchange. The NPP administration under Nana Addo has a record of over 13,000 kilometers of road. Mr. Speaker, the 13,000 kilometers road
Please, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, Addo government, Mr. Speaker, can never be matched by this administration. Mr. Speaker, now let's look at revenue, fiscal performance. May I refer them to Appendix 2A at page 154 of the budget. Mr. Speaker,